Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Auburndale, Florida, for today's broadcast of New Jersey City University baseball on the Green and Gold Network. Today, we bring you the 8th and final game of the 2012 spring trip at the Russ Collegiate Invitational as the Gothic Knights take on the Tigers of Sewanee University out of Sewanee, Tennessee, a member of the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference. NJCU is now 4-4 in the year, losing 2 one-run games yesterday to Framingham State of Massachusetts, both times leaving the runner that could have tied the game on second base in the 7th inning. Knights losing game 1 3-2. They dropped the nightcap 6-5. Sewanee comes in at 5-8. They destroyed Russ College on Thursday in a doubleheader, 14-1 and 32-4. Now that's a little misleading though, as Russ has been outscored this year and is 0-9 by a 174-12 margin. Good Saturday afternoon, everyone. I'm Ira Thor, Sports Information Director here at NJCU. We are at Auburndale's Lake Myrtle Park, the main field for the final game, and the first pitch from Lee Shurnight to the Gothic Knights, Michael Patterson, is a called strike. It's a beautiful day for baseball. Sunny skies, 81 degrees at game time. And I'll give you the lineup here. Is the second pitch to Patterson, skied high to center field. And in right center, coming over and making the play, is James Shover. The lineup today: Michael Patterson leads off and plays center field. Ryan Winters now at the plate, batting .524 in the season. Moving up in the lineup, he catches today. Mike Martucci will wear number 4 today. He's the shortstop, batting third. Alex Weinstein, the cleanup hitter, at first base. Andrew Rivera bats 5th and plays left field. Orlando Bolano, the designated hitter, in the 6th spot. Winters fouls that one off to our right into the parking lot. Now to play. Juan Cruz gets to start at second base in place of Rob Roman, who's committed a number of errors in recent games. He bats 7th. Matt Wagner bats 8th and plays right field. Brian Basilio gets to start today at third base, batting 9th, with Wendell Rodriguez the pitcher today for NJCU. One-two pitch to Winters, and he fouls that off. Defensive alignment today for the Tigers. Their official school colors are purple and gold, but on St. Paddy's Day 2012, the Gothic Knights are wearing green, and the Tigers are wearing green caps. 1-2 pitch to Winters. Swing and a miss. They're going to have to be a throw to first to complete the 2-3 putout, and the catcher, Blake Bays, throws Winters out for the second out. And that brings up Martucci. Mike Martucci batting .412 on the season. Lee Shurnight, this pitcher today for the Tigers, throwing to Blake Bays. First pitch is a strike. First baseman is Connor Liston. Jack Whaley at second. Grant Goodson, the shortstop. Jack Rogers plays third. Ryan Sullivan in left field. Alan Komorowski in center. Swing and miss by Martucci. And James Shover, who had the put out a moment ago, the right fielder. Ground ball towards short. Goodson there. Gathers, throws to first in time to retire Martucci, and the Gothic Knights retired 1-2-3 here in the top of the first of today's 9-inning final game of our spring trip. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Sewanee due up. Wendell Rodriguez going to the mound for the Gothic Knights. He's made a couple relief appearances in the last few days after winning on Monday, a 10-1 winner for his first win of the year over defending Little East Conference champion Rhode Island College. Wendell Rodriguez, a meager ERA of 1.59. The staff has an ERA of 3.18 right now, but Wendell Rodriguez, the best ERA of the starters. He's 1-1 overall. This will be his 5th appearance, his 3rd start. He has 1 save as well. In 11.1 innings, he's allowed 15 hits, but just 2 earned runs, 7 overall. He's struck out 4, walked 5. Opponents do have a .319 batting average against him, which is higher than the team average of .241 for opposing batters. The Gothic Knights as a team, just for comparison's sake, are hitting .307 so far. And leading off here will be James Snover, the right fielder. He bats first, followed by Grant Goodson, the shortstop. Connor Liston at the first baseman, batting third. That's hit in the air. Right field coming in is Patterson, and he'll make a play in left center. 1 away. Now bring up Grant Goodson, the shortstop. Jack Rogers plays third. He's the cleanup hitter. Alan Komorowski is the center fielder, batting 5th. Ryan Sullivan bats 6th, the left fielder. Alan Thigpen is the designated hitter, batting 7th, with Blake Bay as the catcher, and Jack Whaley, the second baseman, hitting 8th and 9th. First pitch to Goodson is a ball. Has a ball. It's 2-0. That's hit in the air to left field. Coming is Rivera, diving, and he makes the catch. We don't have a camera operator today, folks, so we do apologize. We have, just myself down here, and sometimes we get a pitcher to come over and help. Don't have one today. But Rivera came in and made a leaning, diving catch for the second out. With 2-away, that brings up the first baseman, Liston. And that is a ball. We don't have updated stats for Sewanee. They're not updated on their site. One pitch. Hit the air. Shallow right field. Patterson will come in. He calls everyone off. Makes the catch in right center. And the first inning comes to an end as Wendell Rodriguez retires the Tigers 1-2-3. 3 fly ball outs to the outfield. First inning for the Tigers. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. It's a quick inning for both squads. We head to the second inning here in Auburndale, Florida. Second inning here in Auburndale, and with both sides going down in order here in the first. Cleanup hitter for the Knights, Alex Weinstein, will be the batter. And the first pitch is a ball. I've been able to come up with stats through the middle of last week for Sewanee. The 2 Russ games are not included. But for sure Knight, he is 1-3 on the season. He's already made 4 starts. This is his 5th. Sure Knight, 6.27 ERA coming in. 18 innings, he has struck out 25 and walked 10. But he walks his 11th here as Weinstein goes to first base on 4 pitches, and the Gothic Knights have the leadoff runner on. So Weinstein at the steal for the Knights. That'll bring up Rivera, the left fielder, batting .281. He had 2 hits in yesterday's second game against Framingham, but he grounded out to first to end the game with Weinstein at second base. Bays blocks that ball in front of the plate. Ball 1. Top of the second inning, the Gothic Knights, the road team, in the final game of this season's spring trip. Softball's in action right now as we speak. Men's volleyball will be playing number 11 Vassar as Weinstein dives back to first base. That game, or that match, will start at approximately 1:30 at the JMAC, and the women's bowling team is actually in Tennessee, not too far from where Sewanee's campus is, playing in a tournament hosted by Vanderbilt. Ground ball towards short. Goodson to Whaley for force play, but Rivera is safe at first. So a fielder's choice, Rivera at first, 1 away as Weinstein's retired. And that'll bring up the designated hitter, Orlando Bolano, batting .250. He had 2 hits in yesterday's second game, including a double and an RBI. First extra base hit as a Gothic Knight. There goes Rivera to throw to second base, is in time. A 2-4 caught stealing. Now 2 away here. This is the 3rd time this year the Knights have been caught stealing. Inside. That is high. Sure Knight has given up 13 earned runs. 3-0 count now to Bolano. 22 hits in 18.2 innings coming in. That's ball 4. So second free base of the inning as Bolano walks on 4 pitches. Weinstein had also moved to first on 4 balls, and that will bring up the second baseman, Juan Cruz. Cruz coming in batting .211 on the year. This is his 5th start and 9th game overall. He has 4 hits and 19 plate appearances, 1 double, but he's got 5 RBIs and 3 runs scored. And first pitch is a called strike. In the dirt, gets by the catcher, Bays, moving to second on the wild pitch. Is Bolano. That was ball 1. So the Knights with the runner in scoring position. Swing and a miss by Cruz. in the dirt. Throws down to second base. We might have a rundown here. Over to third base. And Bolano is out 2 to 4 to 5. And Cruz is left up at the plate. And it appears as if Bolano took a lead way too far off the base and was picked off there. As that play developed rather oddly. There was not a steal sign on there. And with the base running error, as Bolano officially is picked off 2 to 4 to 5, the top of the second inning comes to an end for the Gothic Knights. And NJCU right now has gone in order. Cruz will be the first batter in the third inning, but here in the second inning, no runs, no hits, nobody left on. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Wendell Rodriguez back to work. Taking a look at the map here, Sewanee, located in the southern part of Tennessee, not too far from the Alabama line, and about 3 hours from Atlanta, which is the nearest major city. I should count Nashville as a major city, which is a little bit closer, probably about an hour and a half. Due up here is the third baseman, Rogers. He takes a called strike for the first pitch, and out ball 1. Chopper off the end of the bat, and it's going to be flicked into center field. That did not sound very good coming off the bat, but the product is a single for Rogers. So lead us off here in the bottom of the second inning. Tigers with their first base runner of the game. And that will bring up with nobody out the center fielder, Komorowski, Alan Komorowski. A 6'2", 180-pound junior, left-handed hitter from Rochester, New York. One of the few players on this roster not from the South. The second baseman, Jack Whaley, is actually from the state of New Jersey, and not too far from where I live in Monmouth County. Ground ball. Cruz dives, gets flying through the right side of the infield. Rogers goes to third. Komorowski aboard with a single. And with nobody out, Sewanee has runners on the corners. That will bring up the left fielder, Ryan Sullivan, a senior 5'8", 180-pounder from Metairie, Louisiana. He's a right-handed hitter. Based on the stats that do not include the Russ game, and clearly the average are going to go up, and stats as well, as they destroyed Russ in those 2 games. We don't have those available. Prior to that, Sullivan had 3 RBIs. You would imagine he had more in that game. .46 runs in those 2 games for Sewanee. There goes Komorowski. The throw is going to be off the bag, and Komorowski steals second base standing up. Rogers remains at third. That's fouled off. Remains 0-2. Sullivan will be followed by the designated hitter, Thingpen. Bottom of the second inning, no score. The pitch by Wenrod is fouled off. Remains 0-2. Gothic Knights saw the team at home right now against Hunter. No score. Bottom of the first inning. That is low for ball one. Sewanee with 2 hits here, and runners at second and third in the bottom of inning number 2. We're in the main field. First time the Knights have been on the main field on this trip. Chopper, Martucci's there. He'll throw to first for the short out. Komorowski goes to third. Rogers scores, and Sewanee is taking a 1-0 lead. So 6-3 ground out for Sullivan, driving in the first run with 1 away. Tigers have a runner at third base, and the designated hitter, Alan Thigpen, to the plate. He's a right-handed hitting 6'3", 200-pound junior from Gainesville, Florida. That's hit in the air to deep right center field. Wagner goes back, giving chase, and makes the catch in the gap. It's going to be a sacrifice fly. Komorowski comes in, and Thigpen does his job driving in the second run, and Sewanee has taken a 2-0 lead. So good situational hitting. That's something that head coach Jerry Smith has been stressing this year for the Knights. The Tigers taking advantage of their 2 base hits, and they're playing a little small ball as well, and the sacrifice fly giving the Tigers a 2-0 lead. And that will bring up the catcher, Bays. He's a freshman, 6'4", 190 pounds from Scottsdale, Arizona. First pitch to Bays was a ball. Ground ball towards short. Martucci ranging over, sliding. Long throw is in time for the out, as the field umpire, Jeff Gold, signifies that he did indeed remain on bag. So the Gothic Knights do get out of the inning here, but the damage has been done as Sewanee has scored twice. 2 singles by Rogers and Komorowski. Each player comes around and scores. And after 2 innings here in Auburndale, Florida, game 8 of the spring trip for the Gothic Knights, NJCU coming up in the third, trailing 2-0. Third inning for the Knights, and it'll be the bottom of the order, Cruz, who was left at the plate. Wagner and Bastillo due up. Cruz was left at the plate when Bolano was caught in the pickoff rundown. And joining us in the booth and helping us out is the Game 2 starter for yesterday, Pedro Garcia, who's limped over here. He left the game yesterday. He gave it his all to try to remain on the mound, even tested out his ankle, but came off the mound yesterday to field a bunt and rolled his ankle. He actually heard a loud crack. As a player, that obviously has to be very concerning. He was able to walk off under his own power today. He's been icing it. It did swell up yesterday. It's a little bit better today, and he says he will be good to go when we get back to New Jersey. So Garcia will help us out on the camera. And Juan Cruz will be the batter here for the Knights, batting .211 on the season. Cruz swings through that one. Leadoff hitter here for the Knights. That's in the dirt, gloved by Bays. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Cruz, hit in the air, line drive to center field, but right in front of the center fielder, Komorowski will not get there in time. It's a leadoff single for Juan Cruz. 5th hit of the season for today's second baseman for the Knights. And Cruz got a fist pound from first base coach Matt Soleno, as for the second time today, the Gothic Knights have the leadoff runner on. That brings up Matt Wagner, as first pitch is in the dirt. Wagner now hitting .286 in the season. Cruz dives back in safely to first. Wagner will be followed by Brian Bastillo. Hat off the plate. 2-0. Wagner, 5'11", 176-pound rookie from Colonia, New Jersey. He's an accounting major. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to Wagner. Sherl Knight, for the 3rd time today, has fallen behind a batter, 3-0. Cruz with the mild lead off first base. Ball 4. He goes to second base. Wagner to first. 3rd walk allowed by Sherl Knight. And with Brian Bastillo coming up, the third baseman, batting .333. We'll have a conversation here at the mound. Sherl Knight, the catcher, Bays, and the pitching coach, who I believe is Adrian Norris. Sewanee, a member of the Southern Collegiate Athletic Conference, a collection of a number of Division III schools in the southern part of the country. Showing bunt. Bastillo, it's a good one. Sherl Knight throws wide to third. Bastillo is safe. Rounding third and scoring is Cruz. Going to third is Wagner. And a sacrifice bunt by Bastillo forces an error by the pitcher, and the Gothic Knights have cut the lead in half. It is 2-1. Sherl Knight initially looked at third base, did not have a play there, whirled around, tried to throw to first, and it was wide of the bag. And everyone is safe, and Michael Patterson will come to the plate. Patterson flew out to right field in the top of the first inning. As of right now, that is an unearned run by Cruz. Patterson, ground ball to third. Rogers is there. He'll throw to first in time, but Wagner scores, and we're tied at 2. So Patterson with the 5-3 ground ball gets the job done. That's the first out. Bastillo moves to second. And that will bring up Winters. Ryan Winters now hitting .500 on the year. Looks at ball 1. He struck out swinging in inning number 1. What does happen now is that first run by Cruz is now earned, as he would have scored. That's a strike to Winters. Bastillo is at second base, as inside. 2-1 to Winters. NJCU with 1 run here, or 2 runs here, 1 hit, and 1 Sewanee error. And we are knotted at 2 in the top of inning number 3. Inside, and Bays slides over to smother that. 3-1 to Winters. The junior transfer from Sussex County Community College, makes his home in Hackettstown, New Jersey. He'll be followed by Martucci. That is a strike. For a second, it looked like it was off the plate, but the home plate umpire today, Dan Saltzman, signifies that it is indeed strike two. And the count is full. That's hit in the air. Foul off to our right into the parking lot. It actually hits the cashier's table at the entrance to the park. No one manning it. No one hurt. Cheryl Knight has thrown 42 pitches. 20 have been balls. Ground ball towards second base. Whaley is there. He'll throw in time to retire Winters. But Steele moves to third, and that will bring up Martucci, who grounded out to short in inning number 1. Martucci is wearing number 4 today rather than his number 10. And first pitch of Martucci is high. With that ground ball out, the second run the Gothic Knights scored when Wagner came home is officially unearned. So one unearned run in this inning. Anything from this point forward will be unearned. Ground ball to the left side hole. It's going to be a base hit. Martucci will reach safely, driving in Bastillo, and the Gothic Knights have taken a 3-2 lead. Mike Martucci hit it where no one could get it. Goodson came over, made a nice play to scoop it up in the hole, but the throw was just too long, especially with Martucci's speed down the line. So 2 unearned runs here in the third inning. NJCU leading 3-2, and the first baseman Alex Weinstein coming to the plate. And he looks at ball 1. Weinstein now hitting .333 in the year. He walked in the second inning before being retired on a fielder's choice. Inside, 2 balls and no strikes to Weinstein, who's really gotten better as the season's gone along. You really see his game starting to develop. Not a true freshman, as he's a redshirt transfer from St. Peter's College, but his first year of college baseball. Ground ball, diving is the third baseman Rogers, but it gets by him into left field. Martucci moves over to second base. Weinstein aboard with a 2-out single, and the Gothic Knights with 2 away, still alive here in the third inning for Andrew Rivera. Rivera reached on a fielder's choice that retired Weinstein in the second inning. He's hitting .273 now on the season. NJCU softball in the second inning is leading Hunter College 2-0. First pitch is a strike to Rivera. For Weinstein, that was his 10th hit of the year in 28 at-bats. Martucci had his 5th RBI of the year on the single before that. That's a called strike on the curve. So it's 0-2. 50th pitch that was by Cheryl Knight. 27 strikes, 23 balls. That pitch was awfully close to take, but it was off the plate. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. We are here in the top of the third inning, live in Auburndale, Florida. NJCU with 3 runs home here in the top of the third, countering 2 runs by Sewanee in the second, and the Knights have a 3-2 lead. NJCU is 4-3 on this year's trip, 4-4 overall, losing twice yesterday by 1 run. The 1-2 pitch fouled off in front of us, and it remains 1-2. 2 games yesterday the Knights could easily have won. Instead of being 4-4, NJCU very easily could be 6-2 right now, but can't go back, and the Knights are going to have to learn. Not good situational hitting yesterday. at his high, 2-2. Garcia pitched well in his first career start. He's made 19 collegiate appearances, and for Pedro Garcia, who's helping us out in the booth right now doing camera, that was his first start as a collegiate pitcher. Struck out 5, he walked just 1. That's hit in the air, fell off to our left. Rogers is going to come over, and it's out of play. And Andrew Rivera goes back to the plate with a 2-2 count, trying to add to this 3-2 lead. Martucci stands at second. Weinstein at first. The inning should have been over, but Cheryl Knight on a sacrifice bunt threw the ball wide of first base, allowing Bastillo to reach, and it's gone downhill ever since. Chopped foul, and it's going to be over our heads, and we are protected by a small roof here in the press area. If we were at Channel Lakes Park, where we played 3 games earlier in the trip, I would have had to play on the souvenir. So Rivera staying alive, 3 straight foul balls. That is low. A good eye there by Rivera, and the count is full with Weinstein at first and Martucci at second. Head coach Jerry Smith calling out signs to Martucci at second. Weinstein with the lead off first. 3-2 pitch to Rivera. Chopped foul. Another foul ball. Remaining alive, he does. Andrew Rivera, 2012 team co-captain. He's the leading hitter returning from last year's squad. One of the few lefties in the lineup. 5'9", 165 pounds. Lightning quick from Edison, New Jersey, a criminal justice major. 3-2 pitch. Everyone goes. Ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Martucci around third. The play to the plate will not be in time. Martucci scores standing up. It's an RBI single with 2 away for Andrew Rivera, and the Knights have taken a 4-2 lead. Weinstein over to third. That's where the situational hitting that was not there yesterday in the losses to Framingham State has resurfaced today, and we'll see how long NJCU can keep this inning going. The number 6 hitter, Orlando Bolano, will come to the plate. He walked before being caught in a pickoff off second base. That came in inning number 2. Bolano hitting .250 on the year. In the air, down the right field line, it's drifting foul and out of play. Bolano, his first year as a Gothic Knight, transferring in from Wilmington College, a Division II school. 5'9", 192-pounder from Hoboken, New Jersey, and Hoboken High School. He's really a utility player for the Knights. He's played right field. He was the winning pitcher as Rivera is caught in a rundown. It's 2-4, 3, and Rivera is tagged out. They're trying to get Weinstein to get home in time because they had Weinstein scored before the pickoff. NJCU's 5th run would have counted, but the inning comes to an end with Bolano at the plate. Second time today, and the inning is ended with a rundown. So we are officially going to call that a 2-4 to 3, and it's going to be a caught stealing that was Rivera was going. And officially for the Gothic Knights, now just the 5th time caught stealing this year as a team. Weinstein unable to score from third base. So that will come to an end here in the 3rd inning. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 costly error for the Tigers. 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of inning number 3. It's 4-2. NJCU wearing green on St. Paddy's Day 2012. Now the bottom of the third inning here in Auburndale. Ira Thor with you on the Green and Gold Network as we have the only New Jersey player in the lineup for the Tigers coming to the plate, the second baseman, Jack Whaley. He's a freshman, as that is a called strike on the outside corner. Whaley is a 5'10", 150-pound left-handed hitting rookie from Middletown, New Jersey, not too far from where I live in Howell, New Jersey. He's a graduate of Red Bank Catholic. And he calls time. So Whaley, like myself, making his home in Monmouth County, New Jersey, near the Jersey Shore. We've got Jersey Shore weather right now here in Auburndale. Now 82 degrees, light breeze, sunny skies. Perfect day for baseball. Or barbecuing, for that matter. After Winters comes out to have a conversation with Wendell Rodriguez, pitch number 2 is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wendell Rodriguez bidding for his second win of the season. He's 1-1 right now, and that's inside and low. Outside and low, it's 2-1. Rodriguez has made a lot of appearances as a starter over the last few seasons. But most notably this year, he's made 3 appearances as a relief pitcher. That's ball 4. First walk given up by Rodriguez. And that'll bring us back to the top of the order for the right fielder Snover, who lined out to center field in the first inning. For Rodriguez, 6th walk of the year versus 4 strikeouts, not a strikeout pitcher. And he's had fairly good control. That's just his 6th walk in 14 innings. Throw back first. Whaley dives in safely. Snover is a freshman, 6 foot, 165-pound left-handed hitting rookie as he takes strike 1. A lot of lefties in this lineup for the Tigers. And he makes his home in Charlotte, North Carolina. And throw back to first. Whaley in standing. North Carolina is where the Duke Blue Devils play, and I'm a big Duke fan. Was not happy with yesterday's result. That's hit in the air to center field. Now in left center as that ball is drifting over into the gap, and Patterson makes the catch. Second time that he's been the one putting out Snover. And with 1 away, that will bring up Goodson, the shortstop, a freshman, 5'8", 150-pound. Also, it's lefty. Also from Charlotte, North Carolina. He and Snover were both graduates of Myers Park High School. And the first pitch to Goodson is a ball. Goodson lined out to left field. A great diving catch by Andrew Rivera in the first inning. Fouled off in front of us. 1 ball and 1 strike. Softball is now trailing Hunter 3-2 after 2 innings. That's fouled away. That is a ball. Throw back to first, and Whaley's in standing. Fouled back again. One out here in the bottom of the third. The Gothic Knights have a 4-2 margin. Pitch to Goodson is inside, and the count is full. Rodriguez continuing to keep an eye on Whaley over there at first base. There goes Whaley, ground ball, fielded by Alex Weinstein. He goes the short way to first for the second out, but Whaley goes on into scoring position at second base. So 2 away, and that will leave up to the first baseman, Liston, who flew out to center in the first inning, right-handed hitter. He's a senior, 5'9", 175 pounds, from Ponce Vedra Beach, Florida, and he looks at ball 1. Alex Weinstein has proven early on in his Gothic Knight career that he really fields first base very nicely. He's made some nice diving stops, almost reminiscent of a Mark Teixeira, the way he plays first base. And he is the only home run on the team this year. He had a couple close calls yesterday. He had one that I think everybody thought was out, and another fly ball that was caught not too far from the wall as well, but just not enough pop yet. Ground ball foul. Ducking was head coach Scott Baker. It's 2-1. Diving back in safely as Whaley as Wendell spun around and threw to Martucci covering second. Popped. Foul. Winters gives it a look. Weinstein coming over, but it's out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's ball 3 off the plate, and the count is full. Pitch by Rodriguez. Swing and a miss. His first strikeout. And Winters tags Liston to complete that. And the inning comes to an end. Tigers leaving runner at second base. Third inning for Sewanee. No runs, no hits. 1 left on base. We head to the 4th inning. Final game of the Florida trip. NJCU leading 4-2. Volleyball stats. We head to the top of the 4th inning. 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Knights. 2-2-1 for Sewanee. That one error led to 3 unearned runs. And Milano at the plate. He was left stranded when Rivera was picked off. And it's hit in the air to center field right, though, to Komorowski for the catch. 1 away. Milano hit that sharply, but right out of position, player. Was there a pitch before that? So with 1 away, that will bring up Juan Cruz, who started off that 3rd inning when the Gothic Knights had 8 players come to the plate. Officially 8. Milano was the 9th, but he did not get an official at bat. And Cruz singled and came around and scored the only earned run. His average now up to 250. Cruz continuing to get his bat going here early in the season. He started off slowly, but has had some timely hitting and been a very efficient player at the plate, and he stays on the field as well because he is a very good fielder. Chopped along the first base side. Sliding was Schulnight. The throw to first is not in time. He threw it into the runner. They're saying Cruz, though, is out on interference. And head coach Jerry Smith asking for an explanation. That's the only call that could be there. If they're calling Cruz out, they're going to have to say interference. Blue, was that interference? And it was confirmed it is interference. And that will bring up Wagner, who walked and later scored. Wagner hitting .286 on the year. Takes a called strike. Gothic Knights have added a lot of new players to this year's team, having graduated more than 10 from last year's squad. A lot of junior college transfers or Division I redshirt transfers, but Wagner is one of the few true freshmen on this year's team. The coaching staff, as Wagner asked for time, coaching staff obviously got a late start recruiting, being hired in late May. And you would figure that for next year's team there'll be a lot more true freshmen on this team. That is a ball. 3 balls and a strike to Wagner. But the junior college transfers, as well as the D1 transfers, are hungry players. Wagner swings through that. It's 3-2. And sometimes that's what it takes. Sometimes you need a club with a good mixture. Young players, veterans, and hungry transfers. Gothic Knights showed how gutsy they are in that come-from-behind win over Mount St. Mary. That's ball 4. Wagner walks for the 2nd straight plate appearance. And with 2 outs, I should say, because of the interference, Bastillo will come to the plate. He reached on that error in the 3rd inning a sacrifice bunt, so it was an unofficial at bat for Bastillo. Gets credit for the sacrifice, but he did reach on the error and came around and scored the 3rd run for the Knights, and he looks at ball 1. Bastillo, one of 4 captains on this year's squad. Junior, criminal justice major from Jersey City, New Jersey, Hudson Catholic High School. That's in the dirt, ball 2. Bastillo has his average up to .333. Splitting time at 3rd this year. First with Cruz and Stefan Segan. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Although with Segan not hitting right now, you would imagine Bastillo, as long as his bat remains hot, will continue to be the starter at 3rd. Maybe fluctuating with Cruz, depending on when Rob Roman gets to start at 2nd. Inside, high curveball. And it's 3-1 to Bastillo. 2 outs here, top of the 4th inning in Auburndale, Florida. Gothic Knights leading Sewanee 4-2. At a called strike, 3-2. Sewanee officially called the University of the South. Probably best known for their 1899 football team. That's ripped foul and out of play along the left field line. The 1899 Tigers, considered arguably the greatest football team in the history of college football. Fortunately, there's no video from that 1899 team. They're saying that grazed Bastille on the arm. It would have been ball four anyway, so regardless, he takes first base. Wagner moves to second with 2 away, and that will bring up Mike Patterson. Patterson is 0 for 2 today, but he had a ground out for an RBI in the 3rd inning. He's now hitting .355 in the year. His mom, Karen, his dad, Bob, on the trip. His father brought me a bottle of Powerade over before the game, and I appreciate that. His uncle Keith was on the trip earlier in the week. He had to go back to his home in Charlotte, North Carolina, but he's been watching on the broadcast a little bit. Ground ball back up the middle. Diving is Whaley. The flip is in time to second base as Goodson remains on the bag, and the inning comes to an end. Patterson hit it to a good spot, but Whaley was able to field his position well, and the inning comes to a close on the fielder's choice, 4-6. 4th inning for New Jersey City University. No runs, no hits, 2 stranded. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning here in Auburndale, Florida. Gothic Knights leading 4-2. Bottom of the 4th inning, and leading us off for Sewanee is the 3rd baseman, Jack Rogers. Rogers singled and later scored to lead off the 2nd inning, ahead 2-0. Hit in the air, straightaway center field. Patterson settles underneath it, drifts to his left just a bit, and makes the putout. Patterson's been busy out there. That's already his 4th putout in the outfield today. Komorowski, the center fielder, now up. He singled and also scored in the 2nd inning. Tigers have 2 hits today. He and Rogers are responsible for both of them. Ground ball towards first. Hop is tough for Weinstein to handle. And safe is Komorowski. And as of now, we're going to call that an E3. Sullivan now the batter, as that is fouled off in front of us and to our right.
Komorowski was in motion there and was halfway to second base. He would have had second base stolen had that not been fouled away. We should mention that last play where Weinstein then tried to flip it to Rodriguez covering, as that's chopped towards second. Double play chance. Cruz to Martucci, and a hard slide and interference on Komorowski, as you could tell that was coming, because when he slid and took out Martucci threw the ball basically into the base path. He was absolutely annihilated there by Komorowski. And credit the 4-6-3 double play there as the inning comes to a close. Komorowski with the hard slide, but a little too hard. And Jeff Gold calls interference on Komorowski, and the fourth inning comes to an end. I was going to say that on that flip by Weinstein that got by Wendell Rodriguez, Ryan Winters did a really nice job of backing that up, preventing Komorowski from going any further than he did at first base. Fourth inning comes to a close. One error, and nobody left. We head to the fifth inning. Gothic Knights leading 4-2. Top of the fifth inning here, and we officially have that into the live stats if you're following those at home. And Winters, the batter for the Knights. Chopper towards third base. Rogers on the line. Long throw will not be in time. It's an infield single for Ryan Winters. Winters, the number 2 hitter today, the highest he's been in the batting order so far in his Gothic Knight career. Now 1 for 3 today. That brings up the shortstop Martucci. 1 for 2 today. He singled and drove in a run. He later came around and scored an unearned run. That's chopped foul. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error on the Knights. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error on the Tigers. New Jersey City against Sewanee. Day 8 of the Florida trip for the Knights. This is actually the first game here in Florida for the Tigers. Throw back to first. Winters in standing. Sewanee, in their last action on Thursday, absolutely destroyed Russ College out of Mississippi. Ground ball to Rogers. The throw to Whaley at second. On to first. Not in time. And it's going to be interference on Winters. So a little deja vu here. So 2 away. So it's going to be a 5-4-3 GDP. They're scoring home, and Winters is out, and there's interference. First pitch to Weinstein. Shortstop Goodson. And a 6-3 putout. Weinstein swinging at the first pitch. And the inning comes to an end as the Gothic Knights, despite the leadoff single after the double play and the interference, are retired in order. So in the 5th inning for the Knights, no runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on. Bottom of the 5th coming up. And for Sewanee, it'll be the number 7, 8, and 9 batters, Thigpen, Bays, and Whaley. Bottom of the 5th inning here, and NJCU in softball back in Jersey City has tied it up at 3-3. Stephanie Gomez with 2 RBIs today in Game 1. The Gothic Knights softball team is 4-4. Ground ball through the left side. That's a base hit as Thigpen swings at the first pitch and singles to left field. That's his first official at bat today, as he had a sacrifice fly that came in the 2nd inning. So with nobody out, runner at first, the catcher Bays will come to the plate. And first pitch by Wendell Rodriguez, his 50th of the game and his 30th strike. Thank you to Karen Patterson, who came over and handed me another bottle of Powerade. We appreciate that. A lot of great parents on this trip. That's check swing foul. I wonder if it's too late to be adopted. Between the Weinsteins and the Pattersons, the Wagner families on the trip, the Winters. That's low. Our pitching coach Nick Cesaire's father, Bob, is on the trip. Makes me coffee every morning. I'm already spoiled. How am I going to go back home? 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball right back to Wendell Rodriguez off the mound. The tag is applied by Cruz to throw to first in time. What a play by Juan Cruz! It nipped off the glove of Wendell Rodriguez. Cruz alertly adjusted to that ricocheted ball, applied the tag, and had enough time to throw to first for the 4-4-3, officially a 1-4-4-3 double play. And the first pitch to Whaley will be taken to the bag by Weinstein for an inning-ending groundout. And Sewanee unable to capitalize here on a leadoff single, as Whaley is retired for the first time. And we head to the 6th inning. 5th inning for the Tigers. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left on. First time in my 12-year career I've recorded a 1-4-4-3 double play. Knights will take it and head to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning here in Auburndale, Florida. Gothic Knights leading 4-2. And I was just talking with Pedro Garcia, who's helping us out with camera here in the booth. And he was telling me how Juan Cruz has always been a good fielder like this ever since high school. And he demonstrated that there, alertly gathering up that deflection and starting a double play. Andrew Rivera will be due up. The fielding has got to be huge for the Knights, because the opposing batting average coming in today was just 241. Yet if you look at the runs, NJCU has scored 48 coming in, gave up 40. Of the 40 runs the opponents have scored, that's a called strike. 23 are earned, 17 are unearned. It's basically a wash. 2-2 to Rivera. Rivera today is 1 for 2 with an RBI single. Hit in the air to left field and drifting foul and out of play. That curved off the bat, like pretty much any golf ball that I hit. .294 Rivera now hitting. And he lines it on one hop to the shortstop, Goodson to first in time for the first out. One away, that will bring up Orlando Lano, who is 0 for 1 today. He walked, was later caught in a pickoff, and then lined out to the center fielder. Fastball's off the plate. Same location, 2-0. And that is low, as the fourth time that Shirl Knight has been behind 3-0. And each time the Gothic Knights walked. That is inside at the feet of Bolano and actually gets by the catcher Bays. There's actually the fifth walk given up by Shirl Knight. 4 times he was behind 3-0. With one away and a runner at first, the second baseman, the nifty fielding second baseman, Juan Cruz, comes to plate. And that's inside. It's also low. Bolano, big lead off first as they call strike to Cruz, 1-1. Cruz with 5 RBIs on the season. That's inside. NJCU hitting .307 as a team entering action today. Bolano back at first standing. Cruz, majoring in business administration. That is ball 3. A product of St. Mary's, Jersey City High School. 6'1", 205-pound freshman. Freshman, at least athletically, as he is a transfer. Shirl Knight steps off. Here in the top of the 6th inning, Gothic Knights leading 4-2. That is a called strike. Anytime you see a runner on a 3-ball count running the first base before the call is made, it's always going to be a strike. 3-2 the count. This will be the 100th pitch by Shirl Knight. He's thrown 54 strikes and 45 balls. That is ball 4. His 6th walk allowed today. Bolano moves on to second base, and with 1 away, that'll bring up Matt Wagner. Wags, first time up, second time up as well, walked. So you got 2 walks today, 1 run scored. And the rookie trying to give the Gothic Knights a larger lead. It's 4-2, and the Knights also have a 5-3 advantage in hits as we bat here in the top of the 6th inning. Ira Thor with you live here on the Green and Gold Network. Swinging us by Wagner as we bring you Gothic Knight baseball. All 8 games of this trip have been broadcasted live here from Florida. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll try to bring you as many as we can from the Garrity Complex as the year goes along as well. And maybe a few road games sprinkled in here and there, depending on my other responsibilities, obviously with 4 other teams still in action. Curveball's a called strike. Throw back to second base, and Bolano diving in. Obviously, the softball team, men's volleyball, bowling, all still in action right now as we are in mid-March. As Wagner goes to have a conversation with head coach Jerry Smith, we'll have Pedro Garcia turn the camera towards me as I've been saving this one shirt until this part of the trip. It is St. Patrick's Day. Had the one green shirt on the trip. Kept it nice and clean and as wrinkle-free as possible to wear here on St. Patrick's Day, hopefully for a little good luck. So after the conversation with Smith, Wagner swing and miss. The ball's in the dirt. Bolano's going to advance to third. The ball is caught diving. Was Jack Rogers. That ball was a poorly thrown ball by the catcher Bays, but Rogers was able to prevent another error and a break there by the Tigers. They haven't had many of those yet today. A fly ball here with 1 out would score Bolano with a 5th run. Ground ball towards short. That will get the job done as well. The short throw. There's 2 outs. Where am I missing one here? Where am I missing an out here? We'll try to figure this out as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
Now, folks, we're back here in the bottom of the sixth. There's some kind of confusion here. We still haven't got a definitive word, but either way, Sewanee's up. And Snover is the second strikeout victim by Wendell Rodriguez, as we do a little housekeeping here with the scorebook, and we're going to have to make some adjustments. But there's a 1-2 fastball in the outside corner there. Second strikeout by Wendell Rodriguez, and the first pitch here to Goodson. Very slowly hit ball there as Weinstein, straddling the bag, actually initially missed that ball, picked it up, and stepped on first just before Goodson got there. So I'm still a little confused what happened there, but it's Pedro Garcia also, but I don't know. There is no scoreboard. There was a scoreboard on site, but it's not being operated. 2 away, that will bring up Liston. First pitch is a called strike. That's fouled off for strike 2. There are definitely 2 outs here. Liston in today's game is 0 for 2. He flew out to center field and he struck out. One ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. The ball gets by Winters. He's going to have to hurry. The throw to first is a strike to Weinstein. And the inning comes to an end. Second strikeout of the inning for Wenrod. And Ryan Winters completes it with a 2-3. It's a perfect throw by Ryan Winters. In the bottom of the 6th inning for the Tigers, no runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. 7th inning coming up here in Auburndale, Florida, and New Jersey City leading 4-2. Oh well, mistakes happen. We have a new pitcher here in the top of the 7th inning. It'll be number 32, Adam Schmidt. He's a freshman, 6 foot, 175-pounder from Long Island, New York. Makes his hometown in Manhasset, New York, Chaminade High School. Mike Patterson will be due up. Sherl Knight in 6 innings threw 105 pitches, allowed 4 runs, 1 was earned. He walked 6, he struck out 2, he allowed 5 hits. 10 ground ball outs, 2 fly ball outs. And the first pitch to Michael Patterson is a called strike. Patterson 0 for 3 today. He also grounded out in the 3rd inning as one of his 3 outs, but that drove in a run. Swings and misses. No balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order for the Knights will be Patterson, Winters, and Martucci. Here in the 7th inning, a very quick-moving game. Just an hour and 20 minutes so far. That's hitting the air to right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit for Michael Patterson. His first hit of the day, and NJCU with the leadoff runner on.
as the 4th time in 7 trips to the plate today that a leadoff batter has reached. That will bring up catcher Ryan Winters, hitting even .500 on the season. He's 1 for 3 today. It's inside to Winters. Ryan Winters, one of a number of students who works in my office when it's not baseball season, working basketball and soccer. That's high, 2-0. Patterson, the leadoff of first base, is getting a little bit bigger. He's 4 for 5 in steals this year. It's in the dirt. Doesn't trickle far enough. Bays does a nice job of blocking that and keeping in front of him. And Patterson retreats to first. Three balls and no strikes. 5th time that a pitcher for Sewanee has fallen behind 3-0. First time for Schmidt, as he's new here in the 7th. That is ball 4. Winters draws the no-out walk. Patterson goes on to second. And this is peligro here. Favorite word is in Spanish. Danger time. As with runners at first and second, you got Martucci up and Weinstein on deck. Bunt, perfect. Off the mound, the flip by Schmidt to first, and the sacrifice was effective, pushing Winters to second and Patterson to third, and that'll bring up Weinstein with 1 out. Small ball being played by the Knights with perfection there. Weinstein to the plate. That's a called strike. Weinstein already has 3 sacrifice flies this year. And he's tied for the team lead. Actually, I take that back. Patterson has reclaimed it. It's 8-7 Patterson over Weinstein. Ball in the dirt. Again blocked by Bays. Weinstein has the only home run this year for the Knights. In the dirt again. First time I've seen Bays, obviously, the catcher. But he does a very nice job defensively. Two and one to Weinstein. Outside and low, and it's 3-1 here, top of the 7th inning. Patterson led off with a single. He stands at third. Winters walked. He's at second after a sacrifice bunt by Martucci. That's fouled off. 2-0 right, and it count is full, 3-2. After today's game, the Knights will have a 7:30 a.m. flight tomorrow back to Jersey before playing Newman on Tuesday in the first home game since March 7th. Swing and a miss at the curveball, and Weinstein unhappy with himself there as he goes down and slams the handle against the grass. 2-away, and Andrew Rivera will come up. The junior left fielder today is 1 for 3 with an RBI. And we're going to be down a van, which means we're going to have to make 2 trips to the airport, which means lucky me, I get to get up at 3:30 a.m. Got to have an administrator at the airport with the players, so lucky me, I get to get up at 3:30. Very excited about that. Might as well just not go to sleep. Pedro Garcia nods, thinks that's probably the best plan of action. pitch to Rivera. That's off the plate. Patterson dancing off third base. It's 2-0. After this, I still have to do a baseball recap, 2 softball stories, 2 men's volleyball stories, and 2 days worth of bowling. That is a ball. No sleep for the weary. Everyone thinks that come down to Florida, it's a vacation. No, not at all. Although I was lucky enough to jump in the jacuzzi yesterday for at least 30 minutes to get a little relaxation. That's a strike. It's 3-1. Down here for 8 days, had 1 day off. I've seen a lot of baseball, though, and if you love baseball, a trip like this is a blessing. I love baseball. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball off the pitcher's knee. It's going to be an infield single. Everyone is safe. Schmidt limping off the mound, but it's an RBI single for Rivera, and it's 5-2 NJCU. Rivera hit that sharply. It caromed, I think, on one hop just in front of the pitcher's rubber, caught Schmidt on the right knee, and then caromed over the shortstop. And the head coach, Scott Baker, had to check on his pitcher. Winters advanced to third on that. Patterson scoring with the 5th run and the 7th hit for NJCU. Schmidt will have a couple of warm-up tosses here just to verify that he's okay. Schmidt, this is his 4th appearance of the year. He had a 2.7 ERA in 3 previous relief appearances, 3.1 innings, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks before today's game. Of course, these stats, again, do not include those 2 Russ games, as they are not available on either the conference or school website for the Tigers, at least not at this time. First pitch to Orlando Bolano with Rivera at first, Winters at third. 1 run in is fouled away to our right. As we were saying a little while ago, Sewanee absolutely annihilated Russ. That's all you could say about it. 14-1 and 32-4. 46 runs in 2 games, but Russ on the year has been outscored 174-12. It's a ball. And asking for time was Bolano. Other than rust, these Tiger squad does play a very good schedule. A lot of good baseball down in that part of the country. That's in the air, foul, and into the parking lot. And one hops over a van. And not just any van, a van in motion. Not something you want to be seeing while you're driving a baseball coming your direction. They're trying here, another rundown to try to get a Winters home. And scoring all the Knights on the rundown before the putout ends the inning. It's a 2-4-3-6-3. 2-4-3-6-3, but the run counts. The Gothic Knights using the pickoff. They tried last time, but the runner didn't go. This time Winters scores. And the Gothic Knights get another a run home. A little sneaky Gothic Knight action here in the top of the 7th. So we're going to record this officially with Bolano left at the plate. Rivera is picked off. 2-4 to 3 to 6 to 3, I think. Winters advances on the throw, and the inning comes to a close, but not before the Gothic Knights put on 2 more on the scoreboard. 2 runs, 2 hits, nobody left on base. 7th inning stretch here in Auburndale, Florida. Gothic Knights leading 6-2. Back here for the bottom of the 7th inning, the third baseman Rogers leads off, fouls off the first pitch he sees. He's 1 for 2 today with a run scored. Liner through the left side of the infield. That's a base hit, his second single of the day. Just the 4th hit allowed by Wendell Rodriguez, who's been excellent yet again. That will bring up the number 5 hitter, Komorowski. Komorowski today also 1 for 2 coming up. He singled and scored. Komorowski fouls it off to our left. Gothic Knights softball now down 6-3 in game 1. NJCU had led that game 2-0, came back and tied it 3-3 after Hunter scored 3 times, and now Hunter 3 runs home. Swing and a miss. That game, folks, is in trying to find out what inning that's in. That hit the batter, though. What was the count? 1-1? 2-0? There wasn't a strike before that? On the hit by pitch, Rogers moves to second base, and Sewanee with nobody out trying to get back in this game. Now bring up the left fielder, Sullivan. He shows bunt, and he went around, so it's a strike. Going to try to sacrifice the 2 runners over into scoring position. They're in the 6th inning in Jersey City. That's a ball. Men's volleyball playing Vassar College, the 11th ranked team in the country, and leading 1-0 after winning opening set 25-17, and they lead 15-13 in set 2. That is a called strike in the inside corner, curveball by Wenrod. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. If the Gothic Knights volleyball team can knock off Vassar, a team that they have never defeated in 12 previous matches, as that's fouled away, talk about a monumental victory that would be for the Gothic Knights. Vassar, a team that has been perennially ranked for going on 15 years. You will never find Vassar not in national poll. That bounces blocked by Winters, 2-2. So we're going to keep an eye on that. We don't want to get too far in front of ourselves, but you can see the live stats for that game also at NJCU, GothicKnights.com. Martucci quickly in to have a conversation with Wenrod. Wendell Rodriguez has allowed just 4 hits today. That's fouled off. Remains 2-2. Sewanee's 5-8 on the year. They dropped 3 games to a very, very good Birmingham Southern College team at home on March 10th and 11th, losing 4-0, 5-1, and 16-4. Pickoff, and he got him! Wendell Rodriguez with the quick move to first base, and Komorowski caught napping. He's tagged out. Big put out there. I can't believe that Coach Scott Baker's not even arguing that. He was out by 2 feet. That is unbelievable. I mean, I understand as a coach, you know, obviously fighting for your team. I expect that from any coach in the country, but Komorowski, that was the most I've seen a player picked off by in terms of distance between the bag in years. And we go back. We'll post the video, obviously, online. We're going to have all the video from this trip online at njcugothicknights.com when we get back north. The wireless signal down here has been extremely slow, and that's the reason we have the delay, but everything will be up. So anybody wishing to go back and join that, we'll have that opportunity. Now, ground ball dropped initially by Bastillo. The throw to first is in time. Because where that ball was hit, Rogers is forced to remain at second base. Now 2 away, and that will bring up the designated hitter, Thigpen, who has a sacrifice fly and a single. He's 1 for 1. The junior out of Gainesville, Florida. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Wendell Rodriguez. Off-speed pitch there. And that's ripped fair down the third base line. That's going to bring home the 3rd run. Rounding third and scoring is Rogers. It's a double down the left field line for Alan Thigpen. And the Tigers have cut this Gothic Knight lead in half. It's 6-3. 2 out hitting there by Thigpen, paying off. Rogers, who led off this inning with a single, scoring his 2nd run of the game. So 2 away and a run home for the Tigers. The catcher, Blake Bays, to the plate, trying to add a little more offense here for the Tigers. They got 1 run in. They scored twice in the 2nd inning. NJCU also scoring twice in this inning and 4 times in the top of the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch, ground ball over to Cruz in the second base hole. The throw first is in time to retire the side. Bottom of the 7th inning for Sewanee. 1 run on 2 hits, a big pickoff, and 1 left on base. We head to the 8th inning. Gothic Knights, 6-3 margin here in Auburndale, Florida. We head to the top of the 8th inning, and Orlando Bolano, who was left at the plate when the Gothic Knights finally executed that well-practiced delayed steal. And first pitch is a ball inside. Schmidt out for his 2nd inning of work. Gothic Knights scored twice in the last inning. Sewanee added 1. It's a 6-3 ball game. Bolano, ground ball to short. Goodson there. Throw on the first is in time. Bolano not running down the line all that well. 1 away. Keeping an eye on here on the volleyball match, because this would be arguably one of the biggest wins in the history of the program if NJCU could hold on. It's 22-21 in the 2nd set. It's a very close game. Cruz at the plate. Inside. Vassar's tied it up. It's 22-22. That's fouled off. Adjacent to the Gothic Knight dugout. Coming out, Matt Wagner, the on-deck hitter, to pick that up. Vassar's taking a 23-22 lead. First lead they've had in this match. 1-2 pitch here in Auburndale to Juan Cruz. And he rips that one into the NJCU bullpen. Nearly hit a photographer taking pictures for the Tigers. One ball and two strikes, and Juan Cruz chops it. Foul in front of the plate. It hit him in the box, so the ball was dead. Ground ball to third. Rogers could not pick it up. It's an error on the third baseman, Rogers. And the leadoff error, or the one-out error, I should say, gives the Gothic Knights a base runner, Cruz, on board. So after the error, the second committed by the Tigers today, that would bring up Matt Wagner, Gothic Knight right fielder, hitting .267, swings and misses at the first pitch. Wagner's walked twice. He also struck out on that play that confused us here in the booth because it was never signified. Wagner has been nicknamed Swagner by his teammates. In the dirt, Bays blocks that one, but it trickles away, and advancing is going to be Cruz. So on the wild pitch, Cruz at second base. That's high. Swing and a miss by Wagner. He's unhappy with himself there. That's skied high to center field. Coming in is Komorowski. Going out is the shortstop, but Komorowski calls him off and makes the catch for the second out. Wagner hit that a mile high, and that will bring up Brian Bastillo, who grounded out to shortstop to end the sixth inning. He also was hit by a pitch, reached on an error, and scored. Bastillo's average at .300 on the season. Vassar and NJCU tied 25-25, going to extra points now in set 2 in Jersey City. In the dirt, bounces away. Cruz is going to stand up and run to third. 26-25. Vassar is a point now away from winning that set. So another wild pitch. Second of the inning. Ball one now to Bastillo, but there's two away. That's a called strike. Foul tip. And it's 1-2 to Bastillo. 26-26, the Knights have tied that match on a kill by Justin Beaumont, the one-time Skyline Conference Player of the Week. So we're doing double duty here, watching volleyball, softball, and baseball while announcing a baseball game and giving you live stats. An attack error by Vassar, and the Knights lead 27-26. Can NJCU pull off what would be among the biggest upsets in the country this year? Not because NJCU isn't good, because the Knights are obviously one of the better teams in the Skyline Conference, but Vassar is just that good. Vassar's tied it. It's 27-all. Back here in Auburndale, it's a 1-2 count. Cruz is at third. He reached down an error and advanced on a pair of wild pitches. Bastillo at eye level. Vassar's taking a 28-27 lead in that match. And that one continues on. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brian Bastillo here in the top of the 8th inning. It's 6-3. Just off the plate. Full count. The pitch of Bastillo. Ground ball to short. Whaley's there. Short to second base, I meant to say. And Whaley at second base was able to ground it cleanly, throw on the first, where Liston catches the ball to end the inning. So Bastillo grounds out for the second time. Cruz is stranded at third base. The Gothic Knights have done a fairly good job today of bringing in runners. They've only left on 6. Sewanee has left 2. And in the 8th inning for the Knights, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the 8th coming up. As we monitor the other athletic events going on today, NJCU leads here 6-3. 'Whaley, the New Jersey product, will lead it off here with the Tigers in the 8th inning. And he takes a strike 1 from Wendell Rodriguez. 'Whaley 0 for 1 today. He walked, and he also grounded out to first. That's in the air to shallow left. Coming in quickly, diving, and making the catch is Andrew Rivera. Rivera, great defensive glove work there. His second diving catch of the game, and as good as the first one was, this one was better. Now we'll bring up Snover. He's lined out to center, flew out to center, and struck out looking. He's 0 for 3, the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. That is a called strike in the outside corner. Curveball by Wenrod. Another curveball, this time on the inside corner. Good location by Wendell Rodriguez, and it's 1-2. Two-two pitch by Rodriguez. That's hit in the air, deep right field. Wagner going back, and it caroms off the wall on 2 hops. Snubber around second, on his way to third.
And he'll be there standing without a throw. It's a triple for Snover. And with one away, Sewanee has a runner at third. Wow, that match in Jersey City continues on. It's 32-32. You need 25 to win a set. So for those who don't know volleyball, you can just imagine what's going on there. Goodson now the batter. And that's going to bring home a run. A single shallow right center field. And it's a two-run game now at 6-4 as Goodson drives in a run. Snover comes around, 1 RBI for Goodson, who's at first base, and the first baseman Liston coming to the plate. Liston 0 for 3 today with 2 strikeouts. Right at Cruz. Cruz flips it to Martucci. On to first, in time for the double play. Juan Cruz generating yet another double play. A 4-6-3 put out here. And the Gothic Knights get out of the 8th inning with minimal damage. In the 8th inning for Sewanee, 1 run on 2 hits, nobody left on, as the Gothic Knights turned their 3rd double play of the game. The 2nd time on this trip that NJCU has turned 3 double plays. And we head to the 9th inning. NJCU 6 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. Sewanee 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors. And Vassar has finally won that epic second set, 34-32. So that men's volleyball match is knotted at 1-1 back in Jersey City. That's crazy. And Hunter defeated the Gothic Knights softball team in Game 1, 6-3. Hunter came in with a 1-3 record. Gothic Knights now below 500. They've lost 4 in a row, 3 by 1 run. So as we post those scores on NJCUGothicKnights.com, Gothic Knights trying to finish off what would be a 5-3 trip. And out on the mound is a new pitcher, number 23, Austin Shea, a sophomore right-handed thrower, 6 foot 180 pounds, from Austin, Texas. And Patterson singles past the diving third baseman Rogers. And his second single of the day. His average now close to 375. What was the first pitch, ball? And that will bring up Ryan Winters. Ball gets out of the glove of Bays. Patterson unable to advance. Winters today is 1 for 3. He's also walked and scored. We hope you're enjoying today's broadcast and our broadcast of Gothic Knight baseball all season as Winters rips it to the right center fielder, right center field gap, I should say, and the right fielder, Chauvert, comes over. He makes the catch. There was a closer play at first base than it initially looked like it would be as Patterson went halfway, put on the brakes, and then had to dive back into first. So a line out to right field. 1 away for Martucci.
There goes Patterson. That's fouled behind us. And Patterson will have to go back. Have a conversation over here as Jerry Smith, the head coach for the Knights, came over to have a conversation with his starting shortstop. Artucci, a product of St. Peter's Prep. Very good school all the way around. And Mike Patterson lucky to get back there and safely. A good pickoff move there by Shea. And Patterson was actually leaning the other way and was able to get back just in time. Shea nearly had him. A pitch out. Patterson again. This time he gets back in standing as Blake Bays fired down to first. 1 ball and 1 strike. Martucci in today's game. He is 1 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI. He's grounded into a double play. That's a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Chopped towards the second baseman. Whaley steps on second, throw to first. Is in time for the double play to end the inning. So a 4-4-3 double play. Patterson out, and we will head to the 9th inning. In the 9th inning for New Jersey City University. No runs, 1 hit, and nobody left on. Wendell Rodriguez out to try to finish what he started in the final game of our 2012 spring trip. Bottom of the 9th inning, Wendell Rodriguez he's vying for his 6th career complete game. He had 1 as a freshman in 2010 and 4 last year. First pitch to Rogers, hit in the air, straight away, center field. Mike Patterson reads it perfectly off the bat. And 1 away. Komorowski and Sullivan will be the next 2 batters. Komorowski, the center fielder, had a good day. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored. He was also hit by a pitch. He's been on base all 3 times. He's come to the plate. He also reached on an error. And the first pitch is a strike. Talk about effectiveness. Wendell Rodriguez, that was only his 90th pitch of the game. That's hit in the air. Shallow right field. Wagner's coming in. Cruz lost in the sun. Wagner calls Cruz off, and Cruz allows Wagner to grab that one. Wagner coming in at the last minute, calling off the second baseman and making the catch. Now 2 away, and the Tigers are down to their final out. And it'll be left up to the left fielder, Sullivan, who has grounded out 3 times. He's got 1 RBI. He's also grounded into a double play as one of those 3 outs. And the curveball by Wendell Rodriguez has a strike. Complete games with under 100 pitches are almost unheard of. But he's 1 strike away from that. No balls and 2 strikes here in Auburndale, Florida. Rodriguez, the 0-2 pitch. That's hit in the air to center field. Patterson in left center makes the catch. And the ball game is over. Chalk up the W for the Gothic Knights. NJCU today has defeated Sewanee University of the South by a score of 6-4, and the Knights win their 5th game of the season. They improved to 5-3 on this year's trip,
and 5-4 overall, and handshakes all around as NJCU wins today's game in just 2 hours and 1 minute by a 6-4 margin. Ninth inning for the Tigers. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on. Your final score today in Auburndale, Florida. New Jersey City University, 6 runs, 8 hits, and just 1 error. Sewanee, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors. And the Gothic Knights with a victory today, improving to 5-4, 5-3 in this trip, winning in 2 hours and 1 minute. Wendell Rodriguez, his 6th career complete game, his 2nd win in 3 starts this year, and he is pitching really well right now under the tutelage of pitching coach Nick Cesar. I'll give you the final stats in a moment as we wrap this one up. Myrtle Knight takes a loss. And I'll show you the Knights having a conversation in right field as NJCU concludes this trip in style. The official final stats for today's game. First of all, the pitching line for Rodriguez, who was magnificent. 9 innings, his 6th career complete game. He allowed 4 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 94 pitches. 94 pitches in 9 innings. That is sensational. Losing pitcher was Myrtle Knight. In 6 innings, he allowed 4 runs. Just 1 was earned. 5 hits. He walked 6, struck out 2, over 105 pitches. Schmidt came in 2 innings, allowed 2 runs. Both earned. 2 hits, struck out 1, walked 1, over 41 pitches before Shea in the 9th inning allowed 1 hit over 8 pitches. Retired the Knights in order. Offensively for NJCU, multiple hits today for Michael Patterson and Andrew Rivera. Rivera was 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs. Patterson 2 for 5, 1 run and 1 RBI. Martucci was 1 for 4 with a run and an RBI. Winters was 1 for 4 with a run scored. Juan Cruz, who was just tremendous at second base today. 5 plays that he was involved with, including a few double plays, and he was 1 for 3 with a run scored. For the Tigers, they had 7 hits. Thigpen was 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Rogers 2 for 4, 2 runs scored. Goodson had the other RBI, and Sullivan actually had an RBI as well. As NJCU today defeats the Sewanee University Tigers by a score of 6-4. NJCU will return north, and after, as we talked about, a very early flight tomorrow, will resume action on Tuesday against a very good Newman University Knight team. Newman has already defeated Kean University this year, so that just shows how good of a squad that is. But it's a home game, 3:30, as NJCU begins the first of 7 consecutive home games. Home on Tuesday, home on Thursday against St. Joseph Brooklyn, in the annual weekend series against St. Joseph's College of Maine, the defending GNAC champions, come in for 2 9-inning games on Saturday and a solo 9-inning game next Sunday before a game against John Jay on the 27th of March, and 2 road games before conference play begins on March 31st. The Gothic Knights, they get the job done. They take advantage of timely situational hitting, a tremendous pitching performance by Wendell Rodriguez, and playing small ball like they invented the concept.
So as we update the final numbers here on the stream, we thank you for those of you who watched this year's spring trip broadcast. Again, we're going to try to bring you more games as the year goes along. We're going to attempt weather-wise to bring you the game against Newman on Tuesday, but because of the height of the press box at the Garrity Complex, every game is a TBA. We hope to bring you as many as possible, but can't commit at this time because we got to really check the weather forecast, scrutinize that, and then we'll have an announcement whether these games will be live. But the weather down here all week was beautiful. It only rained one day, and it was a day that the Knights played at 9 a.m., and it didn't start raining until later in the afternoon, so the weather did not affect NJCU. They finished this year's trip with a 5-3 record. They're 5-4 overall, and this young Gothic Knights squad with just one senior and a handful of juniors has to be very happy with their performance. They very easily could have finished this trip with a 7-1 record, losing twice by 1 run yesterday to Framingham. But NJCU will learn from that. It will go back north at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow. And the Knights will return to the practice field to get ready for Tuesday's game against Newman. Our final score once again here in Auburndale, Florida, as the Gothic Knights complete an 8-game swing through the Sunshine State. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for the Gothic Knights, 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Sewanee University Tigers. Special thanks today to Pedro Garcia, the Gothic Knight starting pitcher from yesterday's game, who helped us out in the booth doing the camera work. And Petey, we thank you very much, helping us bring you the color pictures back in Jersey City. NJCU victorious 6-4. They improved to 5-4 in the year and head north tomorrow. For everyone at New Jersey City University Athletics, I'm Ira Thor saying thanks for watching for both today's broadcast of Gothic Knight Baseball and the entire week down here in Florida. Until next time, be well, everybody.